Hearst, who was captured the following year, says her kidnappers had brainwashed her into committing robbery and extortion.
Hearst, who was captured the following year, says her kidnappers had brainwashed her into committing robbery and extortion. Who is captured? Who is captured the following? Yeah, this is kind of weird word. I would not have used this word. So I'm gonna make a question here. Personally, I would not use the word captured. I would have used a different word. What about you? Is there another word we can use instead of captured? Hearst, who is captured the following year. Hearst, who is captured. Hearst, who is captured the following year. Once again, people who have been in DDM know why we use present tense and ing verbs into committing, right? So why is that? What is this verb tense called? What is this type of verb usage? Obviously, it's present tense. It's progressive. What is that type of grammar called? Okay? And I'll give you a hint. 2 words. Okay? So what is that called? Why are we... I mean, these are things that happened many years ago. Okay? Why are we using present tense? So I'll explain tomorrow. Hearst, who is captured the DTH run together, right? Captured the following year, says her. The faster we say it, these H's can disappear, says her. Kidnappers had brainwashed her. So all of these H's can disappear if we say it fast. Even when your pronunciation is nice and clean, if we say it fast, they can disappear. Says her kidnappers had brainwashed her into committing robbery and extortion. Robbery, get that short O, k, schwa sound. Committing, flap T, committing robbery and extortion. Robbery and extortion. 2 times. 1974, newspaper heiress Patty Hearst is kidnapped in Berkeley, California by a group calling itself the Symbionese Liberation Army. Okay, so Hearst Media, the Hearst Media Group, still today is a huge media, newspapers, magazines, cable TV, ESPN, part of ESPN. They're a huge media organization, all right? And they started a long time ago in the early 1900s with one newspaper, and they just did a tremendous job, and they grew the newspaper, and they got bigger and bigger and bigger, and they became, at one point in the world, the biggest news corporation in the world with newspapers, magazines, radio, TV, and now cable, okay? So Patricia Hearst was a family heiress. She wasn't going to get billions of dollars, but anyway, she's in the family, so she's going to get money. She was a college student at the University of California, Berkeley, okay? So a nice school in California. And she was a student, and one day she was kidnapped. And who kidnapped her? The Symbionese Liberation Army, which was basically just a couple of guys and women who were far left. They loved Che Guevara. They loved Mao Zedong. They loved communism and fascism and things like this. They were anti-government, anti-U.S. The leader of the group was a black guy, so civil rights, was a big issue for him. So anyway, they were basically crazy left-wing people. So you got the Symbionese Liberation Army, crazy left, and then you've got the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, crazy right. So every group has their crazies. These guys were crazy. And they kidnapped Patty Hearst because her family had power. And they wanted to use her to, I'm not going to get into too many details, but some of their members were in jail, so they tried to use her kidnapping to get those guys out of jail, but it didn't work. So then they tried to do other things. You got to feed the poor people in America. That didn't work. And then whatever, they decided to keep her. They kept her. They never gave her back to the family for a year. They, according to her, she was raped. She was kept in a cage. She was blindfolded for months, and they brainwashed her. They changed her mind. They made her a member of the Symbionese Liberation Army. Some people think that's not true, but she says it's true. And some of the things that the Symbionese Liberation Army did was steal money from banks. They're bank robbers. They needed money. They're just a group of gangsters. So they made her part of the army, and she did it. She had guns. She shot, the rifles. She didn't kill anybody, but she went and robbed banks. And the FBI and everybody knew this. Oh, my God, that's Patty Hearst. She's robbing banks. So a year later, she was captured. She wasn't captured. She was arrested because she was robbing banks with these guys. She wasn't captured. And I asked you guys, instead of captured, what's a good word? And somebody said rescued. Yeah, that's the idea if she were innocent. Apprehended. I like that. Caught. Good. Arrested. Yes. Detained. Arrested is right. They went to her apartment and they arrested her. They found her and they arrested her. So they arrested her and put her in jail because she was robbing banks. Even though she's a victim as a kidnapper, she was robbing banks from the police perspective. But then she said later, not in the beginning, later, she said, oh, no. These guys, the kidnappers, they brainwashed me. And they made me do robbery and extortion. Extortion is demanding money from somebody or I'll kill you. That's the idea. You give me money or I'm going to do something. Robbing banks, extortion. She did it. But she said, oh, but actually it wasn't me. They brainwashed me. She did go to jail for a little bit. Jimmy Carter got her out of jail. President Clinton pardoned her, so now she's innocent of everything. And she has a life now. She's very rich. She's fine. Yeah. It was back in the 1970s, it was a huge story. It was a really big story. Patty Hearst, kind of like a Kennedy family. Really rich, has everything, and oh my God, she's kidnapped, and now she's robbing banks. Can you imagine the drama back then? Pretty crazy stuff.
Hearst, who was captured the following year, says her kidnappers had brainwashed her into committing robbery and extortion. Hearst, who was captured the following year, says her kidnappers had brainwashed her into committing robbery and extortion.